for his 11th career title this week, Randy.
Yeah, it's hell getting old. Danny, I feel your pain, buddy. But, you know, the first couple of weeks on tour really showed that Danny didn't get the bowling in, didn't get the amount of games in, and to his own admission, he struggled, or has been struggling the first couple of weeks. But one guy that hasn't been struggling is this young man right here. This guy, Chris Johnson, is one of the best young rookies I have seen in a long time come out on the PBA Tour.
All right, kept it on the lane. Good job. Come on.
Kept it on the lane and left himself a makeable spare.
First ball, TV in his career. Even though he's 26, he's been through a lot of pressure moments with some high-stakes bowling. Television is different, right?
It surely is. It's a completely different environment. And until you've been there, done that, you have absolutely no idea what to expect.
Come on, CJ roots himself on. Here is Danny-Wiseman, who told us a moment ago he's had to endure a lot of pain with that toe injury, which dated back to high school, been re-aggravated constantly. Last season, he played in a tremendous amount of pain. There he will feel better after he gets some nice help on the 10-pin. Number 10 goes down late. Baby Ruth, real deal matchup in between these two.
Chris Johnson did have a lower strike percentage, but look at the spare conversion percentage. I mean, if you can't strike, you know, the only thing that's going to keep you in matches, keep that average up, and get you to make cuts is making spares.
14th year on tour for Danny-Wiseman. PBA member since '87. His last title of the 10 that comes in high was November of last year in Chicagoland against Steve Hoskins in the final, 215-197. Made it barely to the World Championship, 8 to qualify over Lonnie Wallachek on points. And this week, multi-pin pickups.
Danny-Wiseman's had that same spare ball, I think, for the last 15 years. That bowling ball there is probably, gosh, I think they made that back 30 years ago.
However old it is, it's effective there as he takes care of the 3 remaining. There have been some doozies, Randy. Excuse me.
Mine being one of them. My first time ever, I was so nervous. I shoot 153. But you know what? There's a learning curve out here. Danny-Wiseman, obviously, he's been here so many times. It's a learning curve. You've got to learn how to bowl under the lights and the pressure of television.
And speaking of our own Randy Peterson, who seems to be woven into our theme quite a bit, we saw the numbers with Wiseman and win percentage possibilities.
So he's laying this ball down on like the 38th board on the left side of the lane, crossing over about the 5th arrow on the left. And the problem is if that lane dries up and he advances, the only way he can play on that lane is by lofting it over the gutter.
Chris comes to us from Garland, Texas, near Dallas, 26 years old, as we mentioned. A lot of amateur and high-stakes experience, but was urged by bowlers like Del Ballard, who lives along with Paul Fleming in the Dallas area, to come on to the PBA Tour. His former girlfriend, also 5 years, challenged him basically. Time to see if you can handle the world's best.
Yeah, he's glad he did, too. Obviously, gets the nice trip 4 there, nice break. That'll loosen you up.
As things stand, Chris is our leading candidate to succeed Brad Angelo as PBA Rookie of the Year. Wiseman, a touch high, but some help. All 10 down for him.
What's good for you is good for me. I can trip the 4 too. That's what Danny-Wiseman's thinking.
An average of 223.63 for Wiseman in those match wins. That includes the 7-game thriller last night over Patrick Healy Jr., just eliminated by Steve Jarris in the wild card here today. Strike here to even things up for Wiseman. 4th frame. Whoa. Way off.
Wow. How's that deal?
Talk about light, Randy.
Well, it looked like he had a little footing issue there. That same spot that Patrick Healy Jr. slipped when he was shooting a 10-pin.
Ice skating today.
Yeah, you just heard him ice skating. That means the approaches are slick. He's got to get the ball over here, left side of the head pin, drive the head pin into the 10. The ball goes over here and takes care of the 2.
Can he respond from the washout with his first ball? No. 10-pin stands open frame for Wiseman. And we're coming to you from Southwyck Lanes, Toledo, Ohio. Live coverage here on ESPN of the PBA Tour. Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, our entire crew. Once again, glad to present thrilling PBA action as all bowlers battle for the all-exempt field. Bowlers like Chris Johnson, the rookie from Texas, also trying to get himself into the Dexter Tournament of Champions. He could do that by winning here, and all the bowlers once again will be bidding for a title, valuable tour points, all exempt status for next season. Greater Philadelphia Open, Sproul Lane, Springfield, Pennsylvania. Some guy named Peterson won last year, I think.
Yeah, too bad I couldn't have done it this year, you know. Guaranteed a job for next year.
Notice, folks, we're back to a 1 o'clock traditional start time next week. We're 2 this week Eastern and 1 next week. We switch back. Looked like he really slipped there, too, on the approach, especially in the left of our TV pair, as he adjusts boards and his release point.
He is so far left. Watch his slide foot. Watch what it does. Continues to move. Now, that's his style. Looked like maybe just a little bit of a slip, but his style is his foot kind of comes to a stop, the ball gets to the bottom of the swing, and then his foot slides forward just a little bit more. Oh.
Chopped it. Oh, my.
What are the odds of that?
Not so good, Chris. We don't see it very often. However, this year on tour, it's been frequent.
Yeah, it's been a real freak show with spare shooting the first 5 weeks of this season. Let Danny-Wiseman right back in with an open frame.
Open frames have just been a huge theme of the PBA Tour this year, unlike last season. Without question. A market difference. Wiseman trying to make his adjustments, hoping for a messenger to get that 10 down. He won't get it. 36 TV appearances. A guy they call CJ, a red-hot rookie on the PBA Tour, making his first Danny Hall of Fame status, eligible as he has that 10th win. Chicago that last year against Steve Hoskins. It came. 10-pin down for Wiseman.
Dave, look, a spare.
With a 10-pin. Wins for Wiseman this week. Pretty emotional in the Patrick Healy round of 8 7-gamer here last night. As was Chris Johnson's match.
Yeah, you know, even though Patrick Healy Jr. was in, he still took Danny to 7 games. You know, you don't want to have to bowl 3 games if you don't have to. Patrick Healy Jr. was guaranteed the show. Danny took him at 7.
Really?
Didn't like that one bit.
That's a look of confusion. You know, when a player stares at the arrows after he lets go of it, when his ball does this.
I need some help.
Shouldn't have done this. Ball comes in light.
Jeez.
2-8-10.
So another split. Average under 15% this week. A quarter of them have been converted. The number will sink again. Another open frame. Second of the match. In the 4th and the 6th for Wiseman. Chris Johnson, the rookie, has one already in the 5th frame. When we return, we'll tell you about PBA events to come. Days in on the road and bring you the exciting conclusion of this semifinal match from Toledo.